Well, hi, all fans of space engineers. Yeah, let's see. What else can we find? Oh, I found a button. Let's try this. Woohoo! Okay, now hopefully I'm out of the way this time. I got some comments that perhaps my body was in the way here of... Oops. There we go. Of the control panels. Let's see here. This never seems to work out exactly the way I intend it to. So we'll see. Let's try that. I'm trying to get the chat to appear over my shoulder, but I don't know if ever going to get that to work. Let's just try it this way and see what goes. If you don't chat, that's not a big deal. I'm just glad to have you here. So, last time I was stuck. I couldn't get my rovers to get charged. I couldn't explore for anything, and we had some bad weather. And I know some of that got cut off in the stream. I don't know what it is with YouTube, why it gets cut off, but anyway, as I said, I would work on the problem, and I have off stream, and I've made a vehicle here. You see it's all green. It means we're actually connected via a connector. First time I've done that. Now, what makes this connector special to a newbie like me, not for some of you veterans out there, but we've got large grid connecting to small grid. A small grid is pretty much anything this size. Big grid is pretty much, this is like one block. That same small grid block is this way when it's big. So we got another massive power plant, which I am so pleased with. Oh, I think I may just do them all this way. Well, I got a smaller one in there. And we're all just about optimal. I think one is good, but nah, that's good enough. And it's charging batteries. Now, I've got a couple of batteries on there this time. And I was trying to get something to work with the, let me show you what I got over here. Okay, so I've got a hydrogen, well, I've got a hydrogen generator, and that's that thing over there. Let me turn that off. That's fairly standard, that original pod that I fell down to this world with. And then we've got a hydrogen tank. I should probably have 2 of those, maybe more. And then we got a hydrogen. Now, that takes the place of those solar panels I had up here. And I finally got them all connected using those little mini connector thingies. So, here's how it works. So I pop ice into this thing here. And I've got a bunch of extra things that are meant for repairs over here. Plus a few extra hydrogen bottles. That's another thing that I did off stream, which I am quite pleased with. Okay, then it pulls it over the H2 generator. The ice pulls from this big old thing into here, and then produces an excess of hydrogen gas. And the hydrogen gas powers the engine. And that charges up all the batteries that I've got sitting around this thing. Let me explain some of these other things. So I've got these empty shells that say battery on them. Turns out, when you put these frames on there, they take up the space and they have the mass of a fully built item before they're actually filled in, which has the convenience of being able to weight down a vehicle to balance the weight, or if you've got it turned over, as I did, you can actually use that to find a way to turn your rover or whatever back over. So, in this case, when I unplugged it from the connector and started to go traipsing off, especially on an incline like this, I started to flip backwards because I was back heavy. Which is very different from the last time when I had the solar panels. I was very top heavy and forward heavy. So my weight balance shifted to the back. I wasn't entirely surprised by that because we got a lot of heavy things sitting over. I was kind of hoping I'd put the center of gravity somewhere around here, but it didn't quite work out that way. So I put a battery on here and I built it up, and I thought, well, okay, that'll fix it. No, that did not fix it. So I put one here and one on the other side, and that pretty much fixed it. Yeah, we still, when I first get started, it has a tendency to jump a little bit, but at least it doesn't flip all the way over, and I do have to be careful. It is not easy just riding these things across the ice, which is kind of too bad, but it is what it is. But we've got a working rover now. I can put a fair amount into this medium cargo container, not as much as I'd like. So I'm kind of thinking about swapping that out for something bigger, but if I put bigger, then we'll have the overweight problem again. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, I'm rather pleased. Yeah, so I've got batteries, so we're not running out of power is kind of my big concern. Is with more weight, it takes more torque, and that equates to shorter distance. So we'll see. But I've got this monster charging it, so 3 batteries on this thing where I had just one before. So this is excellent. Then I built another tower, which I didn't really need to do. Oh, I need to fill this in, don't I? Yeah, I'll get to that eventually. So I built this other little tower to help with a jumper. So I've got this, well, you recognize it as the famous pod that it came down on this planet with. And you can see I've been putzing with it. I thought, okay, well, it took a while to finally get it to come over and connect with this connector. And you see I didn't do terribly well with that. And I did it without landing gear. Now, you saw last time that I had to completely rebuild all the atmospheric thrusters. Well, that's all fine and good, but I couldn't put the legs on. I'd have to jump out and do it or get it to stay in place, and it didn't want to stay in place. So I put these on, these pistons. I put a whole set of 4 of them on this one. And then I was finally able to get the boots on. I don't actually know if the landing gear is facing the right way. I don't know what's front and what's back with it. I don't know that it really matters, because they're going to be there the whole time. And then I'll retract these. I don't want to retract them yet because I was able to use that then also to lift this high enough to reach this connector. So all in all, that worked. I still have this goofy solar panel on there. That's in case we run into a spot of bother where I have to abandon this because of low power, and I can just let it sit and recharge. And then, then I got the stupid idea of putting this big old drill on the back of it to see if we could actually drill into some space. I don't know if it'll work. just kind of a mishmash of ideas and nothing real cohesive. I just wanted to get this stuff out here so that then I could tinker with it and see if I could get it going. And then I got to thinking, well, someday I'm going to want to mine the stars. So I'm starting to build another pod-like thing. It may just be strictly good enough to get to one of the moons that we see passing on one of the 3 moons. It's a beautiful space, it really is. Yeah, so this is what we're doing. We're putting together one of these for interstellar flight. And it also has pistons. I've become a real big fan of pistons. This one just has 3 though. There's the 3rd one sneaking over here. Yep. I'm going to have a big space, big enough for multiple batteries maybe. I'm going to put a hydrogen... I think I only need a hydrogen generator. I don't think I need a hydrogen engine. I don't know, we'll see. Oh, and you may be wondering about this gizmo. Okay. Again. Some people like Velcro, I like pistons. I threw a couple of pistons on this to extend it far enough to this, called a merge block, to connect 2 grids together. And I was hoping to sponge off of some of the power that that's generating. You know, I keep trying to get it to match up. I have a rotor, I've got the extensions, but I can't seem to get it to match up well enough to connect. I think what I need to do is throw some atmospheric thrusters on this, turn this the proper way, line it up is what I'm saying, and connect it down at the right height. I need to get this low enough or get this high enough, I'm not sure which. I think I might just get it higher. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm thinking about putting another piston. Maybe replace these 3 blocks here with a piston that goes up or down enough to match with that. I don't know. Maybe a hinge? I don't know. Oh, and let me show you my other project. Okay. Yeah, I know, it's like ages. It's been, what, 2 whole days? Oh, I love this. So everything here is finally connected. Remember before I had to keep jumping between this space and this space and over here and somewhere else and just to put in rocks, to take out inventory. Well, now I've got them all beautifully connected. You can go to any station here and pull up the inventory on anything else. And that's what most senior developers do. People who play the games. They build beautiful places. Well, it has a beauty of its own to me. So these are all connected. And then I started to do this. Pistons again, except big block pistons, not small block. So here's 2 pistons connected to this thing, to this control panel. And which reminds me, I need to mess with it again. Let's see how far piston A has gone. Oh, it's only gone half the distance. Each piston can go 10 meters. I got this going really slow so we don't miss anything. I wonder if maybe I should increase the velocity on this just a little bit. Hold on a second. So hold control and left click. There we go. Okay, 0.05, I think. So that's the other thing I learned. I learned that I could get into these sliders and type in an actual amount. Oh, I think that's almost going a little too fast. Okay, yeah. 0.005. Yeah, I don't want to break my drill heads. Okay, so the first time I went through... Oh, these two blocks, by the way, I was trying to have a programmable block and a timer block to program this to go a certain distance in, then rotate, certain distance in, then rotate. The first part of this this big gaping hole I've got in the side of the mountain was when I had it spinning, and I did it manually. Had it going around and around and getting deeper every time. But I had to keep on coming over here and adjusting the maximum depth that we went with each piston. So I'd come here and I'd add like 0.2 to it, 0.4 to it. I eventually got around to 0.6, but that broke the drill head. And I had it just on the end of this shaft. Now this shaft, excuse me, my allergies are giving little trouble today. Get a lot of smoke from, you know, it's cold weather, people are using their fireplaces, but it gets in here something terrible. Okay, so the two pistons, and then on the end of this thing, I've got, what do we call it? A rotor, an advanced rotor, as it happens. So the idea is that inventory, well, okay, whatever rocks that drill head picks in, it throws into its box. Well, that gets conveyed to this box. Originally, I had it just on the end of this, and we went straight. Then this rotor, the advanced rotor, allows inventory to pass through it. So it passes through, going down this long tube. And I built these. These are conveyor tubes. Yeah, I've got a graded catwalk on top of them that I haven't finished building, but yeah, so it's got little turns and everything, and it comes into a conveyor piece here, and then it has a bendy thing, kind of like this thing, an elbow, that goes up into this. So this is what I'm saying. Everything is connected. Out here, I originally built this connector to connect the pod, but I couldn't get it lined up. So this is kind of still in development, but I went in back behind there and I threw in connector tubes, conveyor connector tubes that plug into this thing, which then back behind here has an elbow that connects into this thing. So everything is connected. So I can even pull inventory from down there if I wanted. Well, I'll show you. So it doesn't have to be a pod connected to it. I could just grab it here, and here's all the goods. Look here. Stone appears as it's being mined into the refinery, and it gets processed right away. And I can access everything else that's in my inventory too, and all the cargo containers. So I can pull and dig. So wherever I'm building something, I can just grab inventory. I can sit over there and build those and just grab inventory. It's wonderful. So as I was starting to say, this originally built the shaft, and it goes all the way back under there. And so I was having it spin around. Right? Yeah, okay, so getting ahead of myself. So I had this shaft go all the way back in there and extend both of these pistons. Well, that's fine and good, but you miss out on a lot of rock that way. So I thought, okay, let's have it side mounted. This big old drill was side mounted, and it dug deep. You can see it dug deep down, deep above, and it worked its way up until about here, and then got stuck. Apparently, the drill head will dig like 3 units across the top of it and 2 back. So if you've got any rock further than 2 back down the shaft of the drill head, then it won't get it. So it got stuck on this. And there's really not a good way to fix that, as far as I can tell. So I came up with another strategy. I thought, well, okay. I was originally thinking I'd have 3 drill heads, just pop them on there, and have it dig all the way down. And then change the position, say 90 degrees, and do it that way, or 45 degrees, and do it that way, which I can with that mounted rotor. So it's still a work in progress, and so far it's doing really well. It's getting me all the resources I need, and I don't have to micromanage it and go producing this mess anymore. Well, I'll probably do it anyway. It's actually been an advantage. I'd come down here and mined a little bit more at the same time that was mining. It worked great. That's how I got to build all of these wonderful things. And how I started building this interstellar device here. So, I really want to connect that to get power. That's my first priority. And then I want to build it out a little bit. I want that battery charged. Not sure how to do that yet. So let's pop in the pod here. And I want to retract that a little bit. I think 6 is set for retraction. Nope. There we go, 5 is. Okay, I want to rotate it just a little bit. See if I can accidentally plug it in there. Alright, let's take a look here.